CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Makovic.
Right now on the afternoon edition, the latest atmospheric river sweeping through the Bay Area, bringing strong winds and heavy rain. From uprooted trees to down power lines, we are tracking the damage and the road conditions at this hour. Thanks for joining us. It is a first alert weather day, and our latest storm is causing issues all across the region. Let's get right over to meteorologist Jessica Birch. Got a few more hours of this.
Well, the flood alerts are, of course, the big concern right now. We've seen heavy amounts of rain on this first alert weather day sweep throughout the Bay Area, especially in the morning hours. And now what we're seeing as we head into the next 24 hours, as these storms continue to track off into the east, is still more rain and, of course, pretty impressive rainfall totals and wind gust forecasted. Here's where we're at right now. Our first alert Doppler showing light to moderate showers stretched anywhere from Ukiah all the way down into the Bay Area. Now this continues to track off into the Sacramento Valley, but what we're seeing below me, and this is important to note, we are gearing up for some strong winds still lasting into this afternoon. That high wind warning has expired along our coastline. What we're continuing to keep a close eye on is rainfall totals. Now, you see that tan color below me. That's that wind advisory still in effect until 4 o'clock. But the big story for us also has to do with some rainfall totals, anywhere up to around 1.5 inches down into San Jose. More impressive numbers down into the Morgan Hill region and just up into the Santa Cruz Mountains. This is where we're going to see some of those heavier rain showers, anywhere up to around 3 to 5 inches forecasted. You make your way all the way up into the North Bay. That wind advisory now expired for our friends in Napa and Sonoma. This is what we're keeping a close eye on as the National Weather Service continues to expire some of these advisories. We're seeing other ones pop up in its place. Flood alerts in effect right now. I'll have more on that coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Jess. Taking a live look at SFO, which is dealing with major disruptions from both weather and those lingering FAA-ordered cuts from the government shutdown. The airport says it is on a ground delay impacting arriving flights because of high winds and rain. The FlightAware website says that 49 flights have been canceled at the airport. 12 flights have been canceled at Oakland, 5 at San Jose. The storm also causing scattered power outages throughout the Bay Area. Live look here at the PG&E outage map. The green and yellow dots represent smaller outages, under 500 homes or businesses affected there. The orange shows a larger outage right now in the area of Union City. The storm brought down plenty of trees, including this one, over some parked cars near San Francisco's Painted Ladies. This is at the corner of McAllister and Steiner Streets. You can see the tree looks like it went through the windshield of that white truck there. It blocked the road. No word on how long it's going to take for that large tree to be cleared. The rain also clogging some drains in San Francisco. You can see cars making their way through the puddles. That is at Gough Street and Pacific Avenue this morning. Our Veronica Macias live in Oakland, where strong winds are causing some property damage there. What are we looking at?
And well, as you know, we've been keeping an eye on here on the roads here. Right now, we saw some flooding westbound 580 to eastbound 28, one lane on this interchange flooded. Right now, we're on the 24. Things are looking good, but we have seen some damage from this storm. This morning's commute was rough for people in the North Bay. There, as you could see, we're getting a break from all the heavy rain we saw compared to the morning rush hour. This traffic is nothing compared to the heavy traffic that we saw. The problem was the standing water on the road. We saw a few tow trucks on the highway. The roads were slick and there was flooding on the ramps. Thankfully, much better situation right now. But let's go ahead and show you some of the damage we did capture today. There were heavy branches that fell down on some of the cars in Oakland along Moss Avenue, that is. Part of a tree came down in someone's backyard. One young woman is having to stay home from work. Her vehicle was slightly damaged and she had to wait until crews cleared things up, but she seems to be in good spirits despite the setback for her. Take a listen.
I can't even go to my car because the firefighters were like, you can't even get in the car and drive off right now. And there were like branches all over my car. The actual tree looks like it fell in the backyard, but the branches, like all of them were all in my car.
Then in Oakland's Oakmore neighborhood, branches also causing damage here, coming down on a power line and also coming down on someone's car that was parked in the driveway. Crews with PG&E responding. It was pretty gusty this morning, and crews across the Bay Area right now keeping busy cleaning up after the mess. Here you can see some lane closures on 24. It seems like it all came down all at once, so it was kind of hard for all of this to drain out on the highway. So you had a lot of standing water for a portion of the morning. Right now, it's looking much better compared to what we've seen. Still,
All right, looks like we lost track of Veronica there. Be safe, Veronica. Meantime, it was certainly a both hands on the wheel kind of morning all around the Bay Area. Here's a look at the conditions for commuters on the Bay Bridge heading into San Francisco earlier. Looks like the traffic was mostly steady, though. The North Bay seeing its share of rain. This was a parking lot at Redwood High School in Larkspur that flooded this morning. And here's a look at the morning commute through the North Bay. It was slow going at many points. Windshield wipers going strong. Other stormy snapshots from around the Bay. Video here from northbound 101 on the peninsula. The brunt of that storm hitting during the peak of rush hour. It was also a wet morning in the East Bay. A soggy start to the day along California Boulevard. This is in Walnut Creek. And the CHP urging people to slow down in the rain. This is a crash on Highway 1 near Salinas Road in Santa Cruz County. A car was driving northbound when it veered off the roadway. The CHP says there were only, luckily, minor injuries. Well, you can track the storms and other weather issues anytime on our website, kpix.com. You can also stream us on the free CBS News app. BART service has recovered after a big disruption this morning. A man was taken into custody after barricading himself inside a BART control tower. This was in Hayward. BART officials say the man had a knife. He was barricaded inside the tower at the maintenance facility for about an hour and a half while police negotiated. Nobody was hurt, but there were delays on the green BART line between Berryessa and Daly City. New at noon, the Justice Department has filed a federal lawsuit to block California's newly approved congressional district map. We're talking about Prop 50 that voters just green-lighted. Federal officials argue in the complaint that the map creates an improper racial gerrymandering, giving an unfair advantage to Hispanic voters. This lawsuit comes just days after California Republicans filed their own federal suit against the map, claiming it violates the Voting Rights Act and the Constitution. Both lawsuits challenge the new maps created after voters pressed Prop 50 last week. The U.S. government is starting to get back to normal after a record 43-day shutdown finally came to an end last night. 6 House Democrats joined almost all Republicans to support sending the Senate-approved measure to the president's desk. Natalie Brand has the latest.
Shutdown-related air travel impacts aren't over quite yet. Airline sources tell CBS News it could take 24 to 48 hours to ramp back up to full service once the FAA lifts its flight reduction at 40 major airports. Still, travelers are breathing a sigh of relief that the weeks-long shutdown is finally over.
It's good that they're back to work. Hopefully things get done.
With everything going back now, so just seeing how things flush out. So we hope all goes well.
More than 670,000 furloughed federal employees are returning to work. 730,000 others worked without pay.
The members that I represent, they are ecstatic. They are happy that the government's open. They can now get back to life. They can get back to business. They can make sure that there's food on the table.
The tens of millions of Americans who rely on federal food assistance should see their full SNAP benefits soon. A USDA spokesperson told CBS News recipients in most states will get their benefits within 24 hours.
That clock started with President Trump's signature on the funding measure late last night, but there's still a fight over Democrats' health care demands, which were not part of the bill.
The Affordable Care Act tax credits expire on December 31st. We have to continue to press our case to compel Republicans to deal with this.
President Trump Wednesday night said he would be willing to work with the other side on health care, but took aim at the Affordable Care Act.
It all includes fixing the health care system that Democrats broke with the disaster known as Obamacare. Obamacare was a disaster from day one.
The Senate deal to end the shutdown included the promise of a vote on health care in early December.
The White House Office of Management and Budget confirms to CBS News that paychecks to federal employees who had been furloughed or are working without pay will go out starting Sunday with the goal of completing the backlog payments by next Wednesday. Just hours after her swearing in, Democratic Arizona Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva gave her party the last signature they needed to force a vote on the release of all of the Justice Department's Jeffrey Epstein case files. House Speaker Mike Johnson says a bill will be put to a vote next week. This comes as newly released emails allegedly written by the convicted sex offender say Donald Trump, quote, knew about the girls and spent time with one of the victims at Epstein's house. The president has never been charged with wrongdoing in the case and has denied any knowledge of Epstein's sex trafficking operation. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area. A strike could impact your daily cup of coffee. Why thousands of Starbucks workers are planning to walk off the job today. And we are continuing to track our latest Bay Area storm. You can see from this live radar, there's plenty more where that came from. Jessica is going to have all the details next. Counselors are on campus today as students at Skyline High School in Oakland returned to class after a shooting yesterday. One student was shot and 2 minors were arrested. The student who was shot is expected to be okay. It all happened yesterday afternoon, the latest in a string of violent incidents at Skyline in recent years. In San Francisco, city supervisors will continue to measure to crack down on illegal street vendors. Mayor Daniel Lurie wants to increase penalties for selling food and other things on city property and sidewalks without a permit. Violators already face escalating fines, but the mayor's new proposal also includes potential jail time for anyone who is cited a 4th time. If approved, the ordinance could take effect in January. Thousands of Starbucks workers are walking off the job today, citing the lack of a new contract deal. One of those walkouts happening at 4 this afternoon in downtown Santa Cruz. The unionized workers are calling this a Red Cup rebellion. It's time to coincide with Red Cup Day at Starbucks across the country. That's when people can get a free holiday reusable cup. The company said it is willing to negotiate, but has called the workers' demands unreasonable. All right, back now to our top story, which is certainly the weather today. The atmospheric river moving through the Bay Area. It's caused some tree limbs to break off and block streets in San Francisco, like this one at Polk and Pine in Lower Nob Hill. You can see crews trying to get that out of the road. And let's take another live look outside. This is a gray view of the Bay Bridge, and let's check in with meteorologist Jessica Birch. How are we looking for the evening commute? I think that's on a lot of people's minds.
Of course, because that morning commute was hectic as can be. I mean, we had some of the heaviest rainfall anywhere from that 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. hour. And we continue to add to those rainfall totals into the evening hours tonight, where we could see anywhere up to around 1 inch to 1.5 inches in places like the Santa Clara Valley. Here's a time lapse of the next 24 hours. This atmospheric river, it is a huge area of low pressure offshore, but what's fueling this major storm system pushing through is just all that moisture funneled in, almost like a fire hose, like we saw this morning. And that's what's bringing in rainfall totals anywhere up to around 2 inches in Morgan Hill, close to 2 inches in Los Gatos. We have about 1 inch of rain expected right around the corner as we head into Napa and Vallejo. This is today's numbers alone. We're going to continue to add to this as we head into this weekend's forecast with heavier showers right around the corner for us. A couple things I want to talk about. Now, the National Weather Service has issued high wind warnings along your coastline. That's now expired. We saw gusts anywhere up to around 50 to 60 miles per hour. What we're keeping a close eye on now is the remaining winds that we can expect into the evening hours tonight, up to around 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. That's why this wind advisory highlights most of the Bay Area, with the exception of the North Bay. Daytime highs today significantly cooler as the system continues to track its way through. Compared to just 2 days ago, we were in the 80s. Today we're in the 60s, but this shower system, well, the rain, I should say, starts to taper off. We'll see lighter showers into the evening hours tonight, still cool and cloudy and misty as we wake up tomorrow morning. It'll be a drier setup for us as we dive into this weekend's forecast. Still, temperatures stay low after this area of low pressure sweeps through. It is a cold front after all. Now we're going to see more showers on tap for us Sunday and Monday of next week, and our midweek forecast is looking very similar too. That's the Bay right there. What we're going to see as we head into our inland spots and just along the coast, it's going to look very similar. 60s on tap for us each day. Rainy skies on tap for us too. It is a first alert weather day here in the Bay Area, so this is what we're monitoring closely. This atmospheric river bringing in heavy showers widespread throughout the Bay Area. We'll see anywhere up to around 2 to 3 inches accumulate just up into those Santa Cruz Mountains and all the way down into the foothills near the Santa Clara Valley. For now, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jess. Some sad news to report Former KPIX News anchor Jim Avila has died. Avila worked as a weekend anchor here at KPIX from 1976 to 1980. He also served as bureau chief in San Jose and spent time on KCBS radio. He went to work nationally for both NBC and ABC News. Avila's family said he died at home in San Diego. He was 69 years old. New at noon, the Alameda Food Bank has officially moved into its permanent home in the city of Alameda. A ribbon cutting was held to mark the opening of the new location on West Ranger Avenue. It was previously located just across the street in a rented space. The food bank says this new home will allow them to accept more food and serve more neighbors. And as we approach the holidays, we are proud to continue our Food for Bay Area Families Drive. You can scan the QR code there on your screen to find ways to donate or volunteer with our local food banks. Your Red and Gold report coming up, how the Niners are looking to bounce back and who might be back on the field. All right, the 49ers getting a chance to try to shake off that loss to the Rams against another divisional opponent this Sunday. And in the Red and Gold report, Matt Lively says all signs indicate Brock Purdy is set to make his return this weekend.
This is the Audi Red and Gold report.
We're always on Purdy watch here at Levi's Stadium. And not only did Purdy suit up and practice on Wednesday, but Kyle Shanahan gave a promising update for his QB1.
Are you trying to build him toward the point where he can start on Sunday?
Yes. Mac Jones has been a great backup for the 49ers, going 5-3 and racking up his stats. But there is no QB controversy when Brock is healthy.
It's not a hard decision. It's just more about Brock's health. I mean, it's been awesome how Mac's played. He's been great. But we got a lot of confidence in Brock, and we know Brock will play at a high level too as long as he's healthy.
He looks like Brock. You know, he's out there. He's throwing it well. He's running well. Looks like himself.
Another sight for sore eyes at the 49ers practice was Ricky Pearsall. He's missed the last 6 games with a knee injury, but was limited on Wednesday.
And they told me he's healthy, so I'll see today from my own eyes when he practices, and I'm sure it'll look that way. And as long as he does, then he's good to go. I know they've been frustrated. They're always showing how hard they're trying to come back, and I just keep telling them, guys, we're very well aware of how bad you guys want to be out there.
While the Niners may be banged up, the Cardinals aren't much better. They announced that they'll be without Marvin Harrison Jr. and Zay Jones for the game on Sunday and enter that contest losers in 6 of their last 7.
Coming up, something unexpected on a Northern California construction site, the surprise for kids at a nearby hospital. Well, this is really cute. A construction team in Sacramento is turning a work site into something special for young hospital patients. Crews are building a new medical tower for UC Davis Health, and since the site sits between 2 children's hospitals, workers started hiding a life-size Waldo for patients to find from their windows. Waldo is 6 feet tall. He's got plywood backing to withstand wind and weather. The crew safety manager says the entire team thinks about where to put him every day.
I think he does symbolize a real person. He symbolizes a lot of hope and healing for not only the children and the patients in the hospitals that we're surrounding, but to the site as well.
And McCarthy Construction Company also donated Where's Waldo books to the 2 hospitals. They have heard that children look forward to finding Waldo every day. That is going to do it for the afternoon edition. Remember, we are streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app, and leave you here with a look at our first alert Doppler as we track that rain moving through the Bay Area. You can follow it anytime on our website, kpix.com, and on that free CBS News app. Thanks for joining us.